January 1st, 2021 was the day the new historic AFCFTA kicked off. The Tony Elumelu Foundation opened the application portal for its own $100 million entrepreneurship program across Africa on the same day, January the 1st, 2021. That program, launched in 2015, looked to empower 10,000 African entrepreneurs over a 10-year period, and it's now entering its 7th year since inception. So what will be different at the 2021 edition of the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programme, even under the COVID-19 enrollment? Joining me for an insightful discussion on this is the CEO of the foundation itself, the Entrepreneurship Programme, Ifeyinwa Ugochukwu. Good evening, madam. Good to see you. Welcome.
Good evening. Thank you for having me today at the studios.
We appreciate your time. The world is still reeling from the effects of COVID-19 after postponing the program last year, the entrepreneurship program. How does the 2021 program address the challenges most African entrepreneurs are currently facing?
Well, we all know that whilst we are in the throes of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, through the year 2020, Africa seemed to have been the epicenter for the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the ensuing lockdowns. And so for us at the Tony Elumelu Foundation, it was critical that we lead the charge for economic recovery post-COVID-19 pandemic. And that is why this year's application drive for the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programme is particularly important. In 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit with the lockdowns, we had to postpone our entrepreneurship program for that year. And so 2021 is almost like a double program. We will be selecting entrepreneurs from both the 2020 applicants as well as the 2021 applicants. And we've partnered with several development organizations to ensure that African entrepreneurs, the small and medium enterprises, who are the lifeblood of Africa's economy, have the much needed liquidity that they need to face the challenges brought about by the recessions that most African countries are facing with the COVID-19 pandemic and its impact in Africa. And so we're very happy that our commitment in 2015, when our founder, Mr. Tony Elumelu, launched a $100 million commitment to identify, train, and fund 10,000 African entrepreneurs over 10 years across all 54 African countries, thereby positioning entrepreneurship as the most sustainable way to economic development on the African continent. And today, entrepreneurship is on the global agenda. And that is what we need to do in order to give small and medium enterprises the much needed lifeline they need to overcome the challenges of the COVID pandemic.
I know it's not a coincidence that women in entrepreneurship and SMEs are the center of the new AFCFTA. So what are you doing to engender more gender equal representation of business in Africa? Will that come to the fore this year?
Absolutely. And neither was it a coincidence that the same day that we opened our application portal for the 2021 Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programme, yes, January 1st, that was the same day that the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement was flagged off and went live. And so for us, it is critical to prioritize women because gender inclusivity in our African economy is very important because we know that women make up majority of the workforce in the small and medium enterprises. And so that is why we've partnered with the European Union, particularly the EU DevCo, to identify, train, fund, and mentor an additional 2,400 women across all 54 African countries in 2021. This is a really important partnership for us because it ensures that we give women who have been particularly hard hit by the COVID pandemic the lifeline that they need.
So what can all the state actors, fiscal, monetary, private sector, philanthropists like the Tony Elumelu Foundation do differently to ensure a positive impact on Africa on the road to recovery, even beyond the COVID-19 period?
Well, we need to begin to change the narrative, and I think that the Tony Elumelu Foundation really is leading the new narrative in how to engage in Africa. Gone are the days where aid is the order of the day. Gone are the days where it's about handouts or emergency response. Yes, that is important when it's needed, But we must be thinking long-term. We must think sustainable development. And the only sustainable way for economic development on the African continent is entrepreneurship empowerment. We need to create a self-reliant Africa. We need to create an Africa where the youth of Africa have a job-creating mentality and not a job-seeking mentality, because that is the only thing that will ensure that enough jobs are created on the continent to cater to the burgeoning youth population. And so the call to action to development organizations, to private sector, to governments is to trust the African entrepreneur, train the African entrepreneur, and put money direct in the hands of African entrepreneur. And that is what we do at the Tony Elumelu Foundation. We are leading the charge to ensure that the African entrepreneurs have not just the training, the funding, but also the enabling environment that they need to grow and thrive.
You're celebrating about the 10th year of the foundation, $100 million dollar program within the entrepreneurship program. Am I looking at $1 billion as the next target?
So we are 7 years in, 10 years into the life of the foundation, 7 years into the life of the program.
Yes.
And we have, to date, trained and funded just over 9,000 entrepreneurs, which is, surpassing the target we set for ourselves of 10,000 over 10 years. But certainly, the impact that we've seen from our entrepreneurs and their ability to create jobs, generate revenue, and transform their communities shows us the power of entrepreneurship. And that is why most development organizations who are looking to engage in entrepreneurship empowerment identify in the Tony Elumelu Foundation a tried and tested partner with a system that works, a model that works. And so what we are saying is that if we are seeing this much impact with just 9,000 entrepreneurs, imagine what we will see across Africa when we train and fund 1 million entrepreneurs. And so for us, it is a journey that will not have any end. We want to see millions of young Africans trained in the coming years, and we're already seeing that with partnerships with the UNDP, where we partnered in 2019 for 100,000 entrepreneurs in the Sahel region of Africa. So it is catching on. We are seeing major traction in this space.
Okay, just a quick one before we wrap it up. When you were postponing the 2020 program, there was a call for entrepreneurs to apply for the program. So would they have to apply again? And how much do I need to pay to apply?
First of all, application is absolutely free. You do not need to pay anything or pay anyone to apply to the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program. You just go to www.tefconnect.com and you fill the application. Now, for those who applied in 2020, they do not need to reapply. All they would need to do from the 1st of February until the 31st of March is to revalidate their application, because we're mindful of the fact that in the last 1 year, since they applied January to March in 2020, a lot has happened. So some businesses may have changed in response to the realities of the COVID-19 pandemic, and so we're giving them an opportunity to revalidate their application on the portal, but they absolutely do not need to reapply. Once they revalidate, their applications are valid and will be considered for selection.
Is the partnership with European Union bringing any cash on the table for the entrepreneurship program?
We at the Tony Elumelu Foundation believe that funding and training are two sides of the same coin. So whenever you see us talking about partnerships, the key is that the partners are bringing funding that will go direct to the hands of African entrepreneurs. So absolutely, the 2,400 women that we will be funding will be receiving, alongside all other entrepreneurs on our program, a $5,000 non-returnable seed capital once they pass through the stages of our program, which includes training, mentoring, business plan development, as well as an African-wide pitching competition.
Okay, I want us to continue the conversation, but I need to make a call very quickly. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be men or women for 2021, but I need to call my wife just very quickly after the break. So we need to end this conversation at this point. Thank you so much, Ifeyinwa Ugochukwu, the CEO at Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Programme. We wish you all the best and congratulations as you celebrate moving forward.